Hi guys, so today we're going to be talking about style. Mon Style is what you can see on the board there, which means my style. This whole term we've been talking about our identities, and within that identity we've talked about personalities so far, our personalities and other people's personalities. We've talked about our family and friend relationships, we've talked about our music preferences and tastes, and now we're going to go on to our style, so what we wear, clothing, etc. Don't forget to fill in your homework sheet as you go along. Make sure that you write any issues or problems or questions you might have on the sheet as well. The reason it's called Mon Style, my style, mon meaning my, is because the word style is masculine. There are three different ways to say my. There's mon, ma, and me. Mon is used for masculine words, ma is used for feminine, and me is used for plural. These three words on the board are words that you've seen time and time again since learning French. Un and une both mean a or an. Un is for masculine nouns and une is for feminine nouns. Now remember, a noun is a person, place or thing. In this case, we're really going to focus on things because we're talking about clothes, we're talking about style. Now if we wanted to talk about some, like some shoes for example, we'd have to use des. Un and une both mean a or an, but you've got two separate ways to say this. Why have we got two? We've got two because un is for masculine nouns, une is for feminine nouns, whereas des, the last one at the bottom, is for plural nouns. Now, the reason I'm showing you these is because these will be really key for not only talking about style and clothing, but they have been key in the past, and they will again be key in the future. For example, if I take un, a word that is masculine in French to do with clothing is un t-shirt. Un t-shirt. Now I'm sure you can all guess what that means. A t-shirt. A, the un, and t-shirt. Okay, a t-shirt. Whereas the word chemise, which means shirt or blouse, is feminine. So it has to be une chemise, a shirt or a blouse. Feel free to make notes of this on your sheet if you'd like to, if you think it will be clearer for you. Des, on the other hand, you would use it for the word chaussure. Maybe not so easy to guess. That means some shoes. You've always got more than one shoe, hopefully, so it's some shoes. A t-shirt, one singular t-shirt, une chemise, a shirt, des chaussures, some shoes. I could easily take one of these words and put it with des. So for example, if I used the word chemise, all I would have to do is add an S on the end to make it plural and put des in front of it. You wouldn't need that une anymore. Same with un t-shirt, take away the un, replace it with des and put an S at the end. In class we're going to look at more vocabulary to do with clothing and style, but next we're going to look at colours, because of course you can say I'm wearing a t-shirt, but it's always good to give a bit of extra detail. We do this using adjectives. Adjectives are words that describe nouns. They're describing words. These are your nouns here. T-shirt is a thing, a shirt is a thing, shoes are things. These are your nouns. And then we use adjectives such as colours to describe them. On the board there we've got the first four colours that we're going to look at. We've got bleu, which means blue at the top. We've got noir, which means black. Vert, which means green. And gris, which means grey. These adjectives, these colours, are all masculine. So we would use them with nouns that were masculine too, to describe those nouns. So un t-shirt, like we looked at before, a t-shirt is masculine. These would be used to describe that t-shirt. But what if we have a noun that is feminine? Well, the good thing about adjectives is they can be changed. They can become anything, masculine, feminine, or plural. So for example, all we have to do is add an E on the end to make it feminine. You'll remember this from our personality adjectives. You often add an E on the end to masculine adjectives to make them feminine. And again, all I would have to do is add an S to make it plural. So for example, if something was masculine, like un t-shirt, I would use bleu. If I had more than one t-shirt, for example, des t-shirts, because it's some t-shirts, I'd have to add an S on the end. Des t-shirts bleu. By colour coding this, I've made it a bit clearer. So noir means black, We add an E on the end because we're talking about something feminine, and we add an S on the end because we're talking about more than one of those things. So we have to add an S for it to be plural. Here are a further two colours that we're going to look at as well. Orange, not orange. I know it looks exactly the same. It's a cognate. It sounds and looks similar, or the same in this case, in two languages. But although it's a cognate, you don't pronounce it the same. So it's not orange, it's orange. Ange, again, with that A-N-G-E. Orange. Orange. And marron, which means brown. These never change. Not once. They don't change if they're masculine, feminine, or plural. You don't add extra E's on the end. You don't add any S's whatsoever. The only row left that you should have to fill in your colours grid is blanc, which means white. Now blanc, white, that is in the masculine form there. If I wanted to change it to feminine, it doesn't follow the rule of just adding an E on the end, I'm afraid. This one's a bit irregular, this one's a bit weird. What we have to do is change it to blanche. If I had to make it plural, I'd just add an S to the end. So let's have a little look at this short sentence here. Un t-shirt bleu, a blue t-shirt. Notice that the noun goes first, followed by the adjective. So we've got our noun here, un t-shirt, our thing, followed by the adjective, blue. In English, we would say a blue t-shirt. So we would actually put blue here. But in French, they swap it about. So un t-shirt bleu, a blue t-shirt. Same again, going back to our bit of vocab from the beginning. Une chemise, a shirt or a blouse. Une chemise, we know is feminine from before because it's got une in front of it. Une chemise. Now, again, I've described this shirt as blue, but blue goes after. The adjective goes after the noun. Une chemise bleue, a blue shirt or a blue blouse. Also, to bleu, I've had to add an E to the end because it is feminine, so I have to make sure the adjective agrees with the noun. When it agrees with the noun, they are both feminine. You can't have a feminine noun and a masculine adjective. You can't have a feminine noun and a plural adjective. They have to match. Feminine, feminine. Masculine, masculine. And the third and final one there in black is plural. Des chaussures, earlier we've discovered was some shoes. Now shoes are plural. You've got more than one. Some shoes. Again, I've got the noun, then the adjective comes after. Some blue shoes in English, but they flip it round. Des chaussures bleues. Some shoes blue. Now, same again, chaussure is actually feminine, so I've had to add an E to the adjective, but I've also had to add an S because chaussure is plural.